OK, croeso cynnes I chi gyd nôl i'r prif llwyfan yma. Warm welcome back to the main stage. I know lots of you are eagerly anticipating the big pitch result at 2:15. We'll get to that straight away after this session, so that's coming up shortly. So teachers, if you can make sure your teams are here ready for them results, we'd really appreciate that. But right now, everybody's talking about AI, but what's it all about? Yeah, that's the big question. Lots of AI talk here over the last 3 days. Think you can outsmart a hacker? You might just have what it takes to build a career in cybersecurity. So please welcome our panel. They're going to be a fantastic panel, that's for sure. And their chair, Laura Gemmell. Please welcome to the stage.
Hi, can everyone hear me? Awesome. So we don't have that long today, so we are going to answer some questions, introduce ourselves, and then we're going to go out to the audience very fast for questions. So be thinking about your burning questions about AI that you want to answer. So I'm Laura Gemmell. I run a company called Taught by Humans. We help other companies use AI. I'm joined today by Gareth, who runs a company called Athro, who used to be an actor before he got into AI. Josh, who's an engineer who helps actually build the infrastructure that powers AI for us, keeping the lights on there. And Jaymie, who's gone down a bit more of a traditional route as a computer scientist and now runs AI Wales, so the community group across Wales to help people use AI. So I'm going to ask each of you to please tell us a little bit about how you actually got into AI. Gareth, you want to go first?
Yes, thank you. As Laura said, I trained as an actor. I worked as an actor for a really long time as well. As I was doing that, for the times that I wasn't working, I thought, well, I need to earn some money. So I learned how to design websites, very simply with WordPress, that kind of thing, and ran that business for a really long time. Then when lockdown happened, I was approached by a company that was run by another actor, and she asked me if I knew any Welsh-speaking presenters to go and do educational workshops in schools. So I said, yes, I do. I can do that, no problem. So I went along, and I've been doing that since lockdown, going into different schools and doing different training programs. And as I was doing that, because of my tech background as well, I had this thought. Some of the things, or most of the things that I was teaching in these schools could actually be adapted into AI. My whole thing is that everyone has a way to learn anything. It's just about finding the key. And Athro AI, for a number of people, is that key. So yes, that's how I came into it, really. I had the thought about, will this work? And then I went about building it myself with no knowledge of AI, really, where to start, how to start. It started off with just asking ChatGPT, and then it grew from there and ultimately into programming.
Amazing. Thank you. And Josh, what about you?
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Hi, my name is Josh. I work for Vantage Data Centers. I'm manager of the mechanical engineering design team. I got into AI through a fairly traditional engineering route, really. I did STEM subjects at school, maths and physics, went to university, did an engineering degree. Started my career here in Wales with engineering consultancies, basically cutting my teeth on things like educational buildings, healthcare, museums, office blocks. An opportunity arrived to start designing cooling systems for data centers, so keeping the servers cool, which power everything initially currently cloud-based, and then the last few years as AI has exploded, our workload has dramatically increased and the opportunities have become very apparent that there is a lot of exciting, a lot of difficult work, but mostly exciting work to do here. And that's basically how I fell into AI, basically from taking different paths throughout my industry.
Yeah. Amazing. And last but not least, Jaymie.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my entry into AI directly precedes co-founding AI Wales back in 2017. So I've got a background in software development, so I did at university many moons ago, did some other stuff since then. But I realized that this AI thing back in 2017 was appearing more and more in the news, and I wanted to know more about it. I got introduced through my network to someone who did know more about it, and then I thought, oh, wow, okay, other people need to hear this. And we started off as a meetup group. And to this day, that's a large portion of what AI Wales does, is help people like you, whether you are students, teachers, knowledge workers, whoever, is we just teach you how to understand and how to implement AI for yourselves in a safe way. So my route is a straight line into AI.
Cool. I'm actually going to tell a little bit about my background as well, because I actually ended up in AI by accident. I really like math. I know that's really boring, but I really like math. It always made sense to me. I wanted to be an accountant and accidentally fell into AI because I really like data. And I thought one of the cool things about AI was it could tell you lots of things about different people. And it had a real good use case with people actually being able to use AI. So you are all listening very nicely, and I'm actually going to ask you a few questions. So we've said the word AI quite a few times. Has everybody heard the term AI before? Yeah? Lots of nods. Are people actually using AI? Hands up if you are. Ooh, quite a few. What are you using? Are you using ChatGPT? Are you allowed to use ChatGPT at school? No. Okay, cool. Just checking. Cool. We are going to open up to questions from the audience now. If anybody has a question, could you pop your hand up? Somebody wants to be brave? Maybe a teacher could kick us off if you wanted to be helpful with a question about AI. Anybody? Cool. We can keep going with... Oh, got a question over here. Excellent. Thank you. We've got a microphone coming for you. The rest of you need to start thinking about your questions.
Our pupils would like to know which is the most popular AI in terms of like ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on.
Sure. Jaymie, I'm going to look at you and be like, do you want to answer this question?
Right. So the older amongst you probably remember the cartoon Wacky Races, right? Some of you might have seen it on repeat. And I often describe, when we say AI these days, we often mean LLMs, right? Like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. It's a little bit like Wacky Races in that whoever's in the lead at the start almost certainly isn't winning the race. And they kind of, but they're all there or thereabouts, right? So in terms of the best AI, it really depends what you want to do. If you're looking for creative work, if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking to generate holiday ideas, things to do, they're all great at that. They can all do that kind of thing. You're probably aware that certainly in the earlier days, a lot of them would hallucinate. They'd sort of get sources and combine them and just make stuff up. And people have got into various bits of hot bother with things like that. If you want something, as a quick tip, if you want something that only relies on information you give it to generate its answers, have a look at Google's Notebook LM. So that's exactly how it works. You just give it the sources you're interested in. These can be web pages, PDFs, videos, audio. And then whatever you ask it, it only uses that for its sources, so it can't hallucinate because it's in the content you gave it. So I hope that's enough of a quick answer.
And how do you know which one's right?
Okay, so there are two ways of looking at this. One, experience. So there is another app that I often recommend to people called T3. It's just t3.chat is the website. And with that, for $8 a month, you get 1,500 messages that you can send to most of the top models. So with the others, you're paying like $20 a month for this, $20 a month for that. It really racks up. That's a great way to find a model that works for you. And it even tells you what they can all do, whether it's generate images, search the web, that kind of thing.
I think also a tip is if your school or company that you work for use Microsoft or Google, it sometimes makes sense just to use the AI that comes with that because you're already paying for it. It's a little bit safer if it's in an education package. And my 2 cents would be if you're doing any coding at all, there's one called Claude, which is better. That would be what I say. Anything else to add? Oh.
Can I just quickly add the second thing, second way of looking at it? There's a technical website called Artificial Analysis, and there they do things like, if you want to get into the nitty gritty about how many tokens is this engine returning, what's the price, what's the best bang for buck? That's another way of evaluating the myriad of LLMs that are out there.
And just testing it out. Oh, I was going to say, and also just test it out. So if you want to do something and you've got access to a few of them, just do it in 3 of them and then work out which one works better for you.
So would you recommend Claude for Python?
Yes, 100%.
Well, thank you.
Cool. Any other questions from the audience? Oh, we've got one over here and one here too. Yeah, we'll go that way. You're next.
Hi. Speaking as an upcoming job seeker, I'd just like to know about what sort of projects you guys recommend people get their hands dirty with in terms of AI, and what sort of projects that actually serve in terms of upcoming innovation directions you'd like to see coming up? Thank you.
Josh or Gareth, do you want to?
Thank you. So, from my perspective, housing the infrastructure that houses the data center, empowering it and keeping the servers cool, I'd say basically keep your options as open as possible for kids here who have maybe not thought about the exact career path that they want to take for the time being. Wide-ranging subjects are great because it leaves so many options open for you. Personally, I did a degree in building services engineering, so I'm a mechanical engineer now. Okay, but that was only 40% of my degree. You know, the rest of it was electrical engineering, you know, fire engineering, controls, even project management and construction management. It left many options open to me, which means that as you gain experience throughout the early parts of your career, you're able to discover that yourself. You're not expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at 16, 18 years old, right? So my advice would be to pick any sort of subject or degree or topic that keeps us, you know, has a wide range, okay? A wider range of topics to discuss.
Yeah, anything anyone want to add?
Yeah, so on the other side, I suppose, of a career in AI is the more kind of creative side where you make it happen instead of just using it, but actually creating with AI. And there's a massive future in that. And it does start off really for a lot of people, just like I started off, just asking ChatGPT, how do I do this? Where would I start if I wanted to make an app? What do I do? And then from there, here I am 18 months later, still building, but building nonetheless, and with an amazing product that is really, really done from somewhere creative. So yeah, there are absolutely those traditional ways forward through technology as well, but there is this new emerging kind of imaginative, creative way of using AI too. So that is something that I would definitely encourage having in your mind. If you are kind of slightly more right-brained than left-brained or whatever it is, if it's more about creating than actually tech, then AI gives you a fantastic opportunity there as well.
Cool. And I just think in terms of projects that you can do to set yourself ahead, I always think something you're interested in, something you're passionate about, kind of focus on that. If you're into food, build a website about food. If you're into something, build something in something you're interested in. Because like as someone that hires people into jobs, passion is actually the biggest thing that sets people apart these days. So something like that could really help. Cool. I think we had a question from the woman in the yellow headband.
If somebody wanted to learn to use AI in a more professional manner, what would be a good learning pathway? It's a two-part question. Also, is there any methodology you'd suggest for prompting, especially roses or something like that? The different prompting methodologies, if you know any good like tactics.
Jamie's nodding his head.
Jamie's the best one. Jamie's the best one for that, not me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Right, so I think there's probably something for everyone here, right? If you're in school, it's never been easier, well, for everyone actually, to learn something new, right? There's tons of stuff on YouTube for free. You might have to put up with a few ads unless you pay for premium, but there's some good stuff on there. And if you find the right channels, keeping up with AI is less about being on top of absolutely everything that's coming out, because I can't do that, nobody can. It's moving on at such a pace. But if you keep up with people who can just give you snippets, short themes about the general trends, new developments, what they mean, you know, you're able to keep on top of it that way. Then there's the next layer up, which is paid courses like Udemy. This is sort of entering a bit into Laura's world as well, so learner management systems, that kind of thing. You can get courses, some of them of which are accredited. You can learn the fundamentals of AI. This is also the sort of thing that AI Wales does for free with our community meetups. We have like workshops and speaker talks on different topics. That's another way that you can stay informed. And then, of course, there's the more formal routes. Colleges will be more than happy to take you on and to teach you about AI. And then Tramshed Tech, I can see a couple of the guys at the back there, but the fire exit. Again, they also run courses and schemes to help build people's skills in these areas as well.
And I think one of the big things with AI is it's always changing. So if you just want to try something, you can't really do it, as long as you're not sending in anyone's personal data, you can't really do anything wrong. So just try and do something that might save you time. If there's a bit of your job or your day that you hate, that's the bit I would try and get AI to do for you and see if you can get it to do that. Anything else to add from any of the others, or no? Oh, Josh.
Thank you. So to use AI in a bit more professional manner on a day-to-day, I mean, I use it to save time and be more efficient, basically. You know, I have daily tasks that I need to do. I can spit out and I can tell me, it helps me become more efficient in my day-to-day job, right? On a bit more of a holistic approach to use it more professionally, basically just remembering to use critical thinking skills when it spits out an answer to me, okay? It's only as good as the information you put in. So my advice to use it more professionally there is basically to critique what it is that you're asking, okay? So when you ask it a specific question, it spits out an answer. Does it feel right? Is this what you would expect the answer to be? And then, yeah, they always give you the source for where they've come from. So the professional aspect of me using AI is basically to streamline the stuff the knowledge that's already in my head, and I've just become much more efficient in my day-to-day.
I'm going to say something completely opposite. You can also use it for non-professional things. I've been using it to help me do my hair recently. I've been taking pictures of my hair and being like, do I need more or less product? What should I be doing to get my curls to sit properly? It's very good at that, actually, so it's been helpful. But yeah, so sometimes using it for fun can actually help you learn. Right, I think we have time for one more audience question, if anybody has one. Oh. In the green jumper.
Do you have a question? Does anyone else have?
No.
All right. So when it comes to develop things using AI, they actually work out really well. But when it comes to, how do you make sure you maximize the impact it has on people, as well as marketing, to ensure the exposure reaches to its maximum potential? Yes, everyone can create a website, but the problem is you also need to have good marketing to maximize its exposure.
Cool.
Okay. So yes, you're right. So this is like with a view to launching a product, something like that. Is that what you mean? Yeah. So yeah. So really, yes, AI is new. Yes, it seems to be affecting, improving, everything at once. But some things remain the same, right? We still need people driving behind these things. We still need creativity. There are still some things that only humans can do. Now, that won't be the case forever. But good example, right? I was in McDonald's 2 hours ago, but before the rest of you lot got there at midday. It was chaos. But and you go in there and you're like, well, you order the tablet, and then like someone cooks the food and someone brings you the food, right? They're trying to streamline their process. It's exactly the same in business. So we're using it to draft the first round of a spec, right? And then we tweak it and tailor it. And I did that with like an AI security policy. The same is true for marketing. Like the machine will give you ideas, but it won't have the winning idea. You still have to evaluate, right, what are we trying to do? Does that meet it? And what changes are we going to make? So these are still tools. I know it's if you follow the media, it's easy to this stuff gets overhyped, and it's coming for all our jobs and all that. It's like look around. Like we've had AI for almost exactly 3 years. It was the 30th of November 3 years ago that that ChatGPT was launched. Life is still largely the same. We're using these tools and they're helping us work faster. To Josh's point, is making you more effective in your day job, but you're still doing that job. And just super quickly, in case, well, I guess we're not going to get onto this today, but in case you do think like, oh, you might be thinking ahead to what job are you going to do, and you keep hearing like, oh, AI is taking all the jobs, right? This doesn't affect all companies at once. There's like a super long tail here. There are companies I know that have barely had a website for very long, and how long have they been around, right? Like there will always be, for the next 20, 30 years at least, like jobs for people to do, apply for, and work together on.
Very, very quickly.
And just off the back of that, because we literally at the moment are just starting up our AI and our company, we are actually really excited about looking for new talent. So marketing, absolutely. Accounting, all of the things that we need. We need talent, editing, video editing for the marketing, all of that kind of stuff. So please don't think that AI gets rid of all of that. We need the people in order to put those things together. So if there is anybody interested and wanting some work experience, please feel free to get in touch with me, Gareth@athro.ai, and we can have a discussion and see where it goes from there. Okay?
Amazing offer. So we're nearly out of time and we're just going to wrap up. I've left you a little bit of time so you can go into this in some detail because I know you're excited about this question. We often hear in the news a lot of doom and gloom about AI and things that go wrong. So we are going to leave you with our favorite thing that's happened recently in AI. I have two. I am going to go first. So one is a serious one, which is an AI algorithm can now detect breast cancer 3 months earlier than a human doctor. So that means more people's lives are going to be saved just by looking at pictures, and they still can't really work out what it's seeing, but it has been able to do it, and it's had 0 false positives, so it hasn't actually diagnosed anybody incorrectly. And my other one is, today my robot vacuum cleaner got delivered, and apparently it can tell the difference between carpet and hardwood floor. So it can just go around my house and do all my cleaning for me. I'm very excited about this. Cool. Gareth, you want to go next?
The sort of biggest news I've heard recently, I guess, is that AI is nowhere near as bad for the environment as we first thought. It was a miscalculation. Have a look into it. But all of these terrifying numbers that we were given years ago were miscalculated. The fear that lots of young people, including my own children, have around AI, because they are very environmentally aware, is nowhere near as bad as we first thought. So that is really great news.
I think Jaymie's going to go next. You're our wrap-up, our very exciting wrap-up.
So a few weeks back, you might have seen that OpenAI released Sora 2. So this is the text-to-video generator. But what I liked about this, because I am concerned about the long-term effects on things like politics and people seeing misinformation. But what I liked about it is that they made it a social network, so that it's basically you doing fun videos with your friends. And I thought that was a really positive framing of what could be a potentially misleading tool. I like the one they had in the demo of they took one of their colleagues and put them doing like jumps and stuff on a skateboard, and they said, there's no way they could do that in real life. But it looks super convincing, the physics and everything. So I think that's positive.
Amazing.
Thank you. And positive news story for us. So recently, very recently, actually, the UK government announced South Wales as a designated an AI growth zone, which basically means that there's going to be hundreds of millions of pounds flowing into South Wales to basically develop the infrastructure to house AI. The knock-on effects of that for me personally are huge. Okay, so all across South Wales here, and every new data center that crops up are hundreds and hundreds of jobs. Many at entry level. So many the wide-ranging aspects, not only from building, constructing the data centers, designing the data centers before they even get to construction, and operating the data centers themselves, operating to make sure they run as efficiently and as sustainably as possible. And that's all happening here in South Wales. So the next few years, when you guys go off to college or university or whatever career path you choose, just as you start entering the workforce, this is going to be right here on your doorstep. That's amazing, right?
That is very exciting. So that brings us to the end of our panel. Can we have a round of applause for our panelists?
Yeah, diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you so much. Please give them a round of applause one more time to Jaymie, Josh, Laura and Gareth. Fantastic stuff. Diolch yn fawr iawn.